How did we go from here
I have a dream
to here?
I think you can say I'm a fascist.
Yeah, I am.
From weaponizing the media
We are fighting the fake news.
to mass deportations.
You don't need to do this.
These are all calculated steps in a pattern we have seen before in history. And yes, it's very concerning. The question is, how far have we already gone? In this video, I'll walk you through the 5 stages of fascism, compare them to America today, and reveal exactly which stage we are in, starting from here. The world was in economic turmoil. Millions lost their homes and jobs, while banks got bailed out and Wall Street was rescued. People's trust in the government, banks, and media was running out. This became the perfect catalyst for the emergence of the Tea Party movement. Their extreme rhetoric made anti-establishment anger mainstream. But this anger was just raw fuel, waiting for the right person to weaponize it. And in 2011, one person found the perfect lie to build his entire political brand, and they just ate it up.
Why doesn't he show his birth certificate?
Birth certificate.
Birth certificate.
His birth certificate.
Birth certificate.
The whole birth certificate.
It's a real possibility.
President's birth certificate is a fraud.
It's one of the great scams of all time.
Absolutely.
This is what stage 1 of fascism is all about. Disillusionment. According to Paxton, this is where it starts. A figure exploits people's frustration with the status quo, turning disappointment into rage. They don't just criticize leaders, they delegitimize the entire system. And once that foundation is set, it snowballs into something much worse. And with cable TV and the internet, it only made things worse. People weren't debating the facts anymore. They were living in completely different realities. One side could see Trump as a dangerous demagogue, while the other saw him as a savior. And from stage 1, the foundations were set for the biggest shock of 2016, and what followed would only accelerate from there.
It is my high honor and distinct privilege to introduce to you the President-elect of the United States of America, Donald Trump.
From fringe candidate to president of the most powerful country in the world. Here we see another historical parallel with what happened with Hitler and Mussolini, who were both once outsiders before becoming heads of state. But how did Trump go toe-to-toe against 16 other Republicans with years of experience and still dominate them? The reason is simple. His background as a TV icon gave him an unfair advantage.
You're fired. Okay. Go. All right.
While others gave long, boring policy speeches, Trump threw out insults like it was TV drama.
All right, wait. Don't worry about it, little Marco.
People ate it up, giving him daily TV coverage while the others just looked boring, which cemented his position far faster than anyone had expected. The reality had become so distorted that it gave Trump permission to say this without facing any repercussions.
They say, I have the most loyal people. Did you ever see that? Where I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? It's like incredible.
This is only stage 2, and he said this 9 years ago. Imagine how much bolder he's become since. The current state of America is so alarming that experts are fleeing abroad because they recognize these patterns from history. So what comes after stage 2? The complete capture of the Conservative Party. The very same people Trump fought against during his primary campaign were lining up, desperate to make a deal with him. The arrangement was to let Trump lead the Republican Party, but behind the scenes, they would be the ones actually running policy, thinking they could control him. If we look at what happened in Germany in 1933, German conservatives made the exact same deal, and I'm not making this up. They thought they could use Hitler to get what they wanted: conservative judges, traditional values, economic policies, while keeping him under control. They literally said the same thing: we can control him. In the beginning, it appeared to work. Trump delivered exactly what they wanted: 3 Supreme Court justices. This gave conservatives a commanding 6-3 majority on the Supreme Court that would last for decades. But what ended up happening with Hitler? within months, he had consolidated all power, turned the party into nothing more than an extension of his will, and turned the people who were using him to either becoming his most subservient followers or were eliminated entirely. And what ended up happening in America? Trump systematically restructured the entire Republican Party, beginning with purging every Republican who had opposed him.
Gonzalez became the first of the 10 House Republicans who voted for impeachment after the January 6th insurrection to retire.
Senators who had publicly criticized Trump had suddenly became his biggest cheerleader. And this was not just political calculation anymore. It became total submission. This is where the mask comes off. What was once unthinkable becomes inevitable, and they begin breaking everything, including the conservatives who helped them get there.
Known as Schedule F. It's a plan that would radically transform the federal bureaucracy and allow Trump to install loyalists all across the federal government.
And just as they cannot tolerate internal opposition, eliminating the Department of Education becomes the next logical step. Look at how Trump attacks universities. This is not about academic policy. It's about delegitimizing any institution that produces citizens capable of challenging him. But the true scale of Trump's influence became clear after he lost the presidency, where he literally tried to stop the Democratic election by inciting the January 6th riot. On top of that, he organized attempts to create fraudulent electoral votes in multiple states to rig the voting system. And as a defense, he claims presidential immunity. And this in and of itself is already very concerning in all levels. But again, the similarity to what happened with Germany raises even bigger alarm. As you can tell, this is where America currently stands. But here's the thing about Paxton's framework. Stage 5 is not just another step. It's the point of no return. Being in stage 4 should scare you to death, because stage 5 is when there's no more pretending. And the warning signs, they're already here. Trump has promised in his own words,
"We will begin the largest deportation operation in American history, larger even than that of President Dwight D. Eisenhower."
His team has outlined plans for detention camps, mass holding facilities built to process millions of people, and even the deployment of military for enforcement. The signs are glaring, where not only does Trump shift his focus inwards, but also the use of mass detention camps are obvious warnings from the past. Historically, if we were to link with what happened in the past, the targets wouldn't stop with undocumented immigrants. Legal immigrants and even birthright citizens can be floated as future targets. And if mass deportations weren't alarming enough, Trump plans to ramp up his power, usually reserved for wartime dictatorships. Trump and his allies have already talked about deploying the military against protesters through the Insurrection Act, and they even plan on suspending normal legal processes, even elections under martial law, under the guise of restoring order. And perhaps most alarming,
People from within. We have some very bad people. We have some sick people, radical left lunatics. And it should be very easily handled by, if necessary, by National Guard, or if really necessary, by the military.
So my question for you is this: are these just coincidences in history, or are they real warning signs that America is drifting toward fascism?